Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Wolfsburg Warriors. If you've been keeping up with the series so far, you'll know that Season 3 ended with us losing to Manchester United in the Champions League semi-final, and I've attempted to correct that in the only way I know how. We've gone and had a £700 million transfer window. Hi everyone, Jake here, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel if you're new, and at the start of Season 4 here with Wolfsburg, trying to win the Champions League. We've got so much to get into, massive player sales, massive acquisitions for the club, so much has happened. Alongside that, you're going to get the first game of a Bundesliga Season 2. Before we get into it though, I have to ask you guys, if you could be absolute legends, your support really does help on these videos. If you can hit the like button, it helps so much in video performance. Comment down below your favourite sign-in, who shouldn't we have sold, who should we have signed, anything like that, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're watching at this point, why not? You're this far into a series, it's not going to hurt you to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, check out the Discord, there'll be a join button near the subscribe button if you want to check that out as well. Discord, by the way, is a great place if you have any football manager questions, really nice community that we've built over there. But let's get on with the transfers, shall we? There's so much to get into, this might be a bit of a longer episode. I don't even know where to start, guys. I really don't know where to start. So, as you can see, there's a lot going on in this transfer page, but let me break it down to you piece by piece based on what happened in the summer. We'll start with the outgoings, and the biggest one it's got to be a world record breaking fee or something, £210 million we received for Karim Adeyemi. Now, Adeyemi was the best player by far that we had. He was young with potential. He would have been a Ballon d'Or winner for years and years with us. I almost guarantee it. He was so good. And Man City came in straight away when the transfer window started. 110, 120, 130. Reject. But being the way Man City are in Football Manager, and me knowing that if they were making these bids at the start of the window, there was something there, and there was definitely a lot more money to be played with further down the line. So I started thinking in my head, what kind of value am I going to accept for Karim Adeyemi if we got it? They then came in with an offer of about 160, to which I thought, we'll try our luck over the 200 mark, see what happens. And they said, £210 million, we'll take him. I love Adeyemi, I really do, but £210 million I cannot turn down. I think they've paid through the nose. It was £160 million up front with £50 million in instalments, so that's going to pay for a lot of our signings that we make in this video, if not the majority of them. He's been great for us, don't get me wrong. Look at that goal tally, look at the average match rating. He has never put a foot wrong in this side, but to 10 times your profit on a £20 million signing in 2 seasons, it had to be done. There's going to be some people that will criticise the business in terms of what we're trying to do in terms of winning the Champions League, but I think we can find a striker, maybe not as good as Adeyemi, but I figured we could find a striker at a decent level who could score us goals for way less and use the rest to reinvest in the squad and take us to a proper, not just Champions League challengers, but a Champions League favourite style team. We then had an exodus in central midfield. Midfield was one of the areas I wanted to strengthen massively, and a few players have left the club. The first one being Lewis Cook to Borussia Dortmund. You'll see why they needed a central midfielder in a second, but we sold him for £45 million, a £20 million profit on what we signed him for. He was great for his Lewis Cook. He'll be great for Dortmund, but I have to take that money on a 27-year-old who I knew was not going to play as much this year, was probably going to lose his value, and we could use that money to reinvest in the squad right now and make it a lot better. And that's going to be a theme that's going to be going on with some of these sales. Şegler is actually an interesting one because this happened pretty much at the start of the window. Tottenham came in and offered £30 million. Now Şegler was injured in our first season, came back, didn't look too good, and since then has been fine, but never really set it alight for me since we've had him at the club. So I took £30 million. I knew I could reinvest that. I already had my eyes on some targets. I think he was actually the first sale of the summer. Dortmund also signed another central midfielder from us, this time the 21-year-old Florian Grealish. It was about £30 million if I'm wrong, £25 million, there you go. Was key for us in that first season, £11 million, played consistently towards the end of last year as well, but like I say, I wanted a pretty much new starting midfield, and Grealish going meant we can reinvest it in someone better, someone younger, and we did just that. Sven Botman, centre-back option, has left us. He was our 4th choice centre-back, really, left us to join Red Bull Salzburg for £13 million. Again, we reinvested that. Yusuf Amin, this was a good bit of business. He's gone to join AEK for £10 million, I think it was. We signed him for 190,000. He didn't play many starting games for us, came off the bench a few times in the most recent season. Sure, he'll be good, but again, we've replaced him with a player for far cheaper, who is way better than him in my opinion. You can see I've had to be a bit ruthless in this transfer window to get what I want and to get the squad to a real challenging level. I don't want to wait around anymore for these players to get to a good level. We need, yes, some up-and-coming talents, but also some really good players right from the off. We've then sold Julian Aud, a left-back, to Union Berlin for £7 million. We bought him for £5 million, never really turned into anything, so we let him go. Gerhardt was on loan with an option to buy with Frankfurt, and that's now kicked in for £4.8 million. Then on the side, Mamardashvili, our third choice goalkeeper, has gone on loan to Hamburg, and Astrovanks has gone on loan, full wages paid pretty much, to Sporting Lisbon, where I'm sure he will have a great time and will develop, but he wasn't going to play all that much this season, and you're about to see why. So let's start with the signings that we did make, going from lowest to biggest. So Ivan Musso joined. This is just a player who we've loaned straight back out, didn't cost us too much, we bought him in, and yeah, he's with us now. Similarly, a couple youngsters at Director of Football has signed, an Indonesian, Zainal Suratno, who's probably just going to help out our youth team. We've signed Robert Guzman, who again has gone out on loan for £450,000, a player with a bit of potential, but nothing to worry about too much. Here, though, is our Yusuf Amin replacement, so this is our attacking midfielder backup behind Florian Wirtz and maybe even Kozlowski. It's the wonder kid, Colombian Alfonso Sepulveda, I don't know how to pronounce that, but he is now wanted already by Sevilla on loan. He's actually played a couple times for us so far, hasn't looked too good, but he's a player with plenty of room to grow and will need to adapt. He's valued at around £70 million, and we signed him for £675,000 from Junior in Colombia, a real bargain on him, so I'm happy to bring him into the club. Mohamed Juma was another youngster that we decided to sign. Don't know why, I think he was in the German national team, and we decided to pick him up. Another little signing that we bought in was a £2.5 million young centre-back who's got plenty of promise, a Portuguese man. I think he'll be great for us again, and we're getting towards now the end of the random players that we bought in. Here's another one that we did sign though, Javier Roberto, who we've loaned out to Tigres for the season. He was about £6.5 million. I've had this one lined up for a long while. We were just waiting for him to actually join the club. A very good player at the age of 18, Argentinian under-20 capped international. I think he'll be a big part of the squad going forward, but this season, no. So, Botman left for £13 million. Our new fourth choice centre-back is Igor Daviv, the Russian. A higher current, I believe, than Botman, a very nice player to have in the team, 6'4". I think he's a very good centre-back option. We then signed a young wonderkid right-back, Matija Resler. This is with the idea that Paslak might be about to leave us. I just saw this guy in the market. He was better than Paslak currently. We could get him for cheaper than Paslak. Bayern Munich wanted him as well, so I thought, you know what? Take him off Stuttgart, bring him to the club. He'll be the future at right-back position if Baku ever did leave. £16 million for a player of this level. I think the Croatian is going to be a top draw player for us going forward. Then our replacement for Adeyemi was Youssoufa Moukoko of Borussia Dortmund. He only cost us £50 million, which, considering we got 210 from Adeyemi, we had a lot of money to reinvest, and reinvest we did. He is a wonderkid striker, of course, one of the best there is. He has the potential to reach Adeyemi's level for sure, 3 years younger than Adeyemi as well. And so far, after the friendlies and the Community Shield equivalent in Germany, Moukoko has been very good. Looks like he's going to be a top draw player, and he is our new starting striker. But then we get into some of the luxury signings, we might call it. We had a lot of money left over. Bear in mind, we also had like a £100 million transfer budget. Our finances are still brilliant, by the way, don't worry at all. We've bolstered our midfield with Aurelien Chouameni, who is a Monaco central midfielder. He's French with 14 caps for the national team, which goes to show how good he is. A very nice player, can play a variety of positions, classed as a world-class midfielder at the age of 24. We've signed him from Monaco, where he's been playing very well, and I think he is going to be a key player for us in midfield. £85 million was the price for Chouameni. I imagine we could sell him on for more in a couple of years if we wanted to, but I don't think we will. I think this is the kind of calibre of player that will help us get to a Champions League title. And then we've got another one in there. We mentioned we sold Cook and Grealish to Borussia Dortmund. Well, that's because they had a big gap in central midfield. Bear in mind, Dortmund, by the way, were the second team in the league. They were the one keeping up with us. We've stole Moukoko from them. And now Jude Bellingham, who is a model citizen, world-class midfielder at the age of 21. He is my new starting Mezzala. Physically, mentally, and technically exceptional. We activated a release clause of £97 million. I think it's definitely worth it. He's going to be an awesome player for us. And so far, like I say, in the friendly matches, all of these guys have been awesome. Maybe none more so than probably the most luxury and crazy bit of business we did, which was Frank Kessie from AC Milan for £100 million, I think it was. Let me just double check that. I believe it was 100. Yeah, £100 million. Some of that on installments, don't get me wrong, but he's a 27-year-old Ivorian who is coming into the club as probably our best player at the club now. Yes, you can get him on the free in the first season, but we were at no level to pick him up, and he did stay at Milan, so maybe it just didn't happen in this save where he was available for a free. But he stayed at Milan. He's physically just incredible, mentally very good, and technically awesome. He is going to run the midfield for us. I'm 100% sure of it. I really like Frank Kessie, and I think he's going to be a top draw player for us. Been so good for Milan, and I'm hoping he'll be great for us. Now, the problem with him is £100 million. He's a bit old. We're not going to get much resale value. I do not care. We have the money to spend, and I want to win the Champions League. We've gone out and done it, and we've barely spent more money than we've bought in. We've done really well financially, and there's still £172 million in the balance. We've got £72 million of transfer budget, plenty of wage budget. Paslak is potentially on his way out for £20 million to Bayern Munich. There might even be more signings by the time you next see us. But yeah, our team is incredible. It's looking very good. Our dev centre is lined up with plenty of amazing young players, both youth intake formed and also players from outside of that we've signed to bolster our youth ranks. I think this club is really going somewhere. We've got the best youth facilities and best youth factory in the world, according to the club vision. They say maintain it, so we must already have it. But we are playing Union Berlin today, and that is something where I'm hoping we can just get off to a great start and look amazing. If I do show you the schedule quickly, though, before I forget, friendly started off a bit dodgy when everyone was at the Euros, I think it was. Then we've been very good, beating Real Madrid, Crystal Palace, Werder Bremen. We beat Union Berlin 3-2 in the Super Cup, where Bellingham scored and Sesko got 2. The first half, we looked completely dominant, and then Union Berlin got into it a little bit more. I think it was down to a lack of fitness, but it's fine. Yusuf Mokoko then put Magdeburg to the sword in the DFB Pokal first round. A lot harder of a game than it should have been, but we made it through with a win, so I'm hoping we'll now get a comfortable win against Union Berlin. I'm waiting just to have that really nice, easy, comfortable win, and I'm hoping it will be this. So our team today, to face off against them, is Kenneth winning goal, Rudele Baku, Lecroc, Gavardiol, and Nets. As our back four, we've got Tchouaméni at the base of the midfield with Bellingham and Kessie, with Kozlowski as the attacking midfielder, and that is because Florian Wirtz is still recovering from injury. Sesko and Malcoco up front. This is a very good squad. I'm super happy with it. I don't think we've had a squad looking this good for a long time. We might still make more improvements, like I say, but I think this is a top draw squad, back up in every single position of a good level. Then we've even brought through some development centre players just in case we need them. Alexi Heino is a real-life Wolfsburg youth prospect who is going to be our fifth choice striker basically, and Lucas Ambros will also help out in that attacking midfield and central midfield roles if we ever need him, the 20-year-old Czech. But yeah, very happy with this squad, very excited to see how it does in the match. Watch us go and lose now. I think we'll be very disappointed if that is what does happen, but I am really excited to see how they get on. Do let me know what you think of this team down below. Like the video if you are enjoying, and cross your fingers that we actually play some nice football. It is going to take a while for people to gel, don't get me wrong. I've noticed that with so much changes to the squad, the dynamics are going to take a hit. The players aren't going to be as used to the tactics straight away, but we'll work with it. We've got to also remember that this is a new match engine. Someone commented saying, oh, you don't get the new update if you don't start a new save. That's the case with players, but I think the match engine does update. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought once you do an update, the match engine is just whatever the most updated match engine is, even if you don't start a new save. And it could be that this tactic is now terrible. I have noticed in the friendlies that our team is getting super tired way more often, so I've developed a second version of our tactic that's less intense that we can use if we're a few goals ahead. What's happening here? Why does it say in the top left that we're skipping a replay for a goal? This is strange. Union Berlin have scored, and we've seen it in the future, I think. I think we've just seen a goal from the future. We had a replay of something that hasn't gone in yet. There you go. Awoni, unless there's going to be some weird like VAR mess up maybe. I don't know where this has came from, but it looks like 26 minutes in, the first highlight is one for Union Berlin, and they've scored. And like I said, we saw the replay before the goal went in, so that was very strange. I'm saying it's rigged. I'm saying that's the reason we're losing. But yeah, not the best start from our new signing team. Like I say, I'm not going to panic too much if things do go wrong, because we do need time to gel. But I still think we'll come out of this match with a win. I just hope that I'm right, because if I'm wrong, maybe we're in trouble. But we'll be fine. I just said I won't react too soon, but it looks like I'm already starting to. We're going to be fine. Unless we go 2-0 down already, then I'll be worried. Let's see how this turns out. So we've got Kessie closing the ball down there, or was that Tchouaméni? I can't really tell in Football Manager, but there's a long ball over the top. Baku's been beaten. It's a long-range shot from the Union Berlin player, just over the bar. Realistically, this team should absolutely wipe the park with Union Berlin. I'm going to say if anything does go wrong, it is down to the match engine changes. But here's Bellingham, ball into the box, Gvardiol just over. That's unlucky. I feel like this midfield 4, though, this midfield diamond, is probably the perfect player you can get in every position, bar Kozlowski, as he's not really meant to be playing there, but everywhere else, like Kessie, the ideal box-to-box midfielder, Bellingham, just an ideal midfielder in whatever role you use him. And then Tchouaméni should be very good. Don't you dare say penalty. Don't you dare say penalty for that. I need to rage at the referee so he changes his mind. That's how it works. But that was not a penalty. That was a great tackle from Gvardiol. Please don't let us... No penalty. Okay, see, this is what you do. You shout at the referee and it works. I did wonder, though, because usually those things don't get overturned. But that is an awful first half in my eyes. We've done absolutely nothing. I've just told the players we've been absolutely terrible. We need to see more. This is not good enough. I don't know what to do. We need some chances to come about. We need to get on the ball a bit more. This is more like it. A highlight that actually starts with us on the ball, and we've given it away straight away. Kozlowski not having a great game. He might have to come off. Although I don't really trust Sepulveda to do anything different if we do bring him on. But maybe this is something. Kozlowski's through. He's played through Markoko. There we go. That's the goal. 1-1. Why they VAR in it? He was a mile onside. I promise you. If this gets ruled out, the game is rigged. Give Markoko his first Bundesliga goal. It didn't even tell me if it was awarded or not awarded. I feel like it was. I don't see why he would be offside here. No, he's definitely not offside. That's counted, surely. Wait for it. There we go, it has. Okay, Markoko has scored in his first Bundesliga game. He also scored in his the cup match against Magdeburg. He didn't get it in his debut, technically, because he did play in the Super Cup, but we'll take it. Here comes Sesko. We're breaking forward with pace. Really nice play. Markoko's through. And he's already replicated what Adeyemi was doing for us. That's a really poor bit of goalkeeping from a poor shot, really, from Markoko. But we've done it. We're 2-1 up. Markoko with 2 goals. We've changed it around. The midfield getting nicely involved and threading him through. And all of a sudden, getting £210 million for Adeyemi doesn't look so bad when you've got this guy up front. And he's just going to get better and better for us now. I think his career is really going to kick on. It was kind of hindered at Borussia Dortmund, in my opinion, because they were using him as an inside forward on the right or the left, one of the two. And it's just not getting the best out of him. I think it stunted his growth a little bit. And that's why we were able to get him for so cheap. But let's put on some of our backup players now to make sure we see this game out. So I'm going to go for Lucas Ambros in that position, a Wolfsburg youth product. Why not? Nets isn't having the best game, so DeMarco can come on there. I'm not going to take Kessie off because I want him to score, so I don't look like I'm stupid for spending £100 million on him. So I think the final player, just because Baku's on yellow, we'll bring on Matija Rezler. He is also a new signing, the young 18, 19-year-old Croatian, whatever he was, age-wise. I'm pretty sure he was a Croatian. I think he's going to be a top draw player for us, so hopefully we can see a bit from him. In the games that he has played so far for us, he's looked good. But if we go and concede now from that right side, I'll be annoyed. Here's Markoko, though, probably waiting for the chance for his hat-trick. Gvardiol. I think one of the big things about this new right-back is he is super quick, and we're going to see that here, I think. He's on the ball, plays it to Bellingham, Bellingham to Sesko. It's deflected, Markoko follows in, and it's not put in. I think it's been blocked. That was close, and that was good movement from us yet again. Rezler finding so much space on that right-hand side. I'm liking it. We just need a bit of time to click, and before you know, we'll be winning these games 6 or 7-0. Obviously, Florian Wirtz is a big miss too. He was a big part of the second half of last season. Not having someone in that attacking midfield role who is properly suited to it. Kozlowski is a Mezzala in my eyes, and that's what I'll use him as this year. He is probably the best of our non-starting midfielders usually. Yeah, I wouldn't ideally use him in this forward-thinking role, I suppose. But here's Markoko, gets his hat-trick, takes it around the goalkeeper. This is exactly what we want, and we are on fire now. This is a perfect second half. We've bounced back. We get the confidence flowing in our striker, who's here to replace, 40 goal a season striker Adeyemi was? Markoko's made a good start with 5 in his first 3. This is what we need, and he's only going to get better and better, this man. Rounded the goalkeeper, put it into the back of the net. Easy as you like. I should have probably brought Arnold on, to be honest, if he was on the bench. Could have gave Kessie a bit of a rest. But now this is where, usually, I'd switch to this one here, and it's a less intense version of the tactic. We run the risk of less injuries. That's what I'm going to try and do this season. Be a bit more tactically smart and make sure no one gets out injured or overly destroyed and needs resting come the end of the season, particularly when we have a lot of games. That is going to be very important. But there we go. A great start for us. We've brought in some players. Next time you see us will be the Champions League group stage. Might have made even more signings by then. Let me know what you thought of the signings down below and the match. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks for all the support from the bottom of my heart. As always, I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.